Less than 3 years ago, South Carolina finished at 9-4, won the Outback Bowl against Michigan. That was the high point for Will Muschamp, and it's all been downhill ever since. We got Will Gunter on the line from 107.5, the all-new early game. Will, another Will out of a job. Hopefully you're doing well.
I'm doing well. And at least as of 4:50 on Monday afternoon, I'm still employed. 6 a.m. comes early though, so we'll see. We got to get through Tuesday morning, then fight the Wednesday morning, fight the good fight, and keep going. But yeah, at least I'm busy day, that's for sure. Busy last do math real quick. About 20 hours. Busy last about 22 hours.
So, folks, Will works, as I said, at the game 107.5, the game Columbia, South Carolina. So, Columbia, South Carolina, you know he's right in the midst of all this. And I know what it's like following the beat of coaching controversies, coaching searches, and so forth. So, yes, it's a endless cycle of rumors and trying to chase down candidates and all that other business. So, let's get back to Will Muschamp before we move on to possible candidates. There was conventional wisdom out there that because of COVID wreaking havoc with the college football season, that most coaches, or maybe all coaches, would be safe with the leniency of no spring practice, summer workouts compromised, late season, short season, especially a first-year head coach, of course, but he's been around a while. So were you a bit surprised that he was let go at this point?
Yes and no. The answer is no, because things really escalated the last 2 weeks after South Carolina was beaten 48-3 by Texas A&M. I think if you'd asked me, even after South Carolina lost to LSU 52-24, I thought that he would make it through the season. But I was there 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night, and it was such an uninspiring effort. It really was so poor coming off of a bye week. It was not good, and that changed a lot of things for Will Muschamp. I think he could have gone 2-8. I really do. I think he could have gone 2-8, but it had to be been somewhat competitive in that game. And even Saturday night, they do score 42 points. But what had happened over the last 3 weeks after they beat Auburn, what had happened finally became too much to bear, and I think the administration had to take into account what the fans' attitude was, and it was unified that they wanted this guy gone, unfortunately. So to answer your question, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, yeah, I would have been surprised. I thought he would have been fine. But after that Texas A&M game on November 7th, I felt that it was more of a matter of time than if it was going to happen this year.
6-14 in his last 20 games, dating back to a shutout loss in the Belk Bowl against Virginia a couple seasons ago. I mentioned the high water mark. It's difficult to win in the SEC. You can be recruiting in the top 25 like Will Muschamp has, even better than that, and you can fall behind. So since that high water mark, when he had lifted this program from 3 wins to 6 to 9, what do you think went wrong after that?
That's a great question. I put on Twitter a little while ago, I don't know, it's been strange again about the last 22 hours to see everything that's happened. It seemed like there wasn't a high expectation amongst players, maybe amongst staff. I've noticed former players that played under Steve Spurrier believe that this program can be more. It appeared that under Will Muschamp, and you've seen tweets come out in the last several hours, that players obviously are upset, understandably so. They believed in their coach. Former players, Brian Edwards with the Las Vegas Raiders, and Keyshawn Nixon, who I think is also with the Raiders, some other guys, some NFL guys. It seemed like there was a lack of higher expectation. I don't know. I say that I'm trying to think back now as it's been a hectic day. You think back over the last 3 or 4 years and what we've seen. The offense is better this year, but defensively, they've collapsed. They've given up 159 points in the last 3 games, and that's crazy for a guy who's a defensive guru. So I think it's a bunch of things that have accumulated really over 3 or 4 years. Yeah, one of the concerning things against Texas A&M, you go back, Will Muschamp defended his players after getting beat 48-3, and he said, "Well, effort's not a problem. They played with great effort tonight." Well, If you play with great effort and you get beat 48-3, it's kind of an issue of talent or coaching then, because if they're giving it all they got and they're still losing by 45 at home off a bye week, it's not good. So I think it was a lot of things. I think it was a lot of things that ended up adding up.